Ah, Prehistoric Planet, one of my favorite documentaries growing up as a kid. At the time, I didn't have my own copy of Walking with Dinosaurs, which I would get from the library, so it was nice to have a sort of abridged version of the miniseries. And Ben Stiller narrated it, a comedian actor presenting a dinosaur documentary. How awesome is that? Yes, sir, I am looking forward to. Tyranno Senpai speaking. Yes, Chester, I am reviewing Prehistoric Planet. Oh, that Prehistoric Planet. No, I didn't mean the one based on the Walking with Dinosaurs film. Alright, I'll get right on it. Yes, I put the ramen in your feeding trough. See you later, dude. Okay, let's get to the actual review. Hello, my co-highs. Hope you're all doing well. I am your host, Tyranno Senpai, and today we're finally going to review Prehistoric Planet from Apple TV+. This review really has been a long time coming, and I truly do apologize to my viewers for not getting around to it sooner. But now that I have some time on my hands, and with the series having been renewed for a second season slated for this coming May, it's finally time to talk about the paleo documentary everyone has been calling the spiritual successor of Walking with Dinosaurs. I did in fact do 5 watch parties as new episodes released. So if you want to check those out and watch along, I'll leave a card that will take you to the watch party. Obviously, because ads are different now than they were before, you may need to do a little work in finding where the episode starts. Because this is a documentary that is based in reality and not a film or a TV series like Jurassic World Camp Cretaceous, my format for this review will be slightly different from how I've done reviews from the past. For this review, we'll be looking at the narration, music, locations, and of course the creatures and the effects used to bring them to life. So with that out of the way, let's finally review Prehistoric Planet. Prehistoric Planet is presented to us by legendary natural historian and wildlife presenter Sir David Attenborough. You guys may recognize him from other documentaries like Planet Earth, Blue Planet, and Our Planet, just to name a few. Come to think of it, there are actually quite a few documentaries he hosted with the word planet in the title. Coincidence or not aside, his presentation of Prehistoric Planet is absolutely fantastic. If you guys are at least familiar with Planet Earth, you guys would know how he presents wildlife as animals living their daily lives rather than shows nowadays that have gone for the wow or fear factor, which is something that has plagued dinosaur documentaries in the past. Just hearing David Attenborough narrate the documentary is a treat to the ears. He does not disappoint. He sticks to the presenter side that we are all familiar with to great effect. He even throws a little bit of humor in some of the dialogue. Oh dear. Ever since I watched Blue Planet, I had always wanted to see a paleo documentary presented by David Attenborough. Kenneth Branagh did a wonderful job narrating Walking with Dinosaurs, and of course, I absolutely loved John Goodman's presentation of When Dinosaurs Roamed America, but after I had watched Prehistoric Planet, nostalgia just couldn't win the battle. I was already hooked when I watched the first ever teaser trailer for Prehistoric Planet, but the moment I heard David Attenborough's voiceover, I knew that it was going to be an epic, enjoyable watch. Also, it does kind of bring things full circle because his brother, the late Richard Attenborough, played as the legendary John Hammond in Jurassic Park and its sequel, The Lost World, which to this day is still my all-time favorite film from the franchise. David Attenborough did present a dinosaur documentary back in 2016 called Attenborough and the Giant Dinosaur, which was focused on the discovery of Pacific Titan, but that was a documentary talking about the discovery of a new genus and the environment it would have lived in rather than a wildlife documentary where you would see a living, breathing creature. So the fact that he presented Prehistoric Planet is a welcomed addition in my eyes. Normally in my reviews, I don't normally talk about music, which now that I look at it, is kind of sad, because there is a lot of amazing music in a lot of the reviews I made. So I'm gonna break the mold and talk about the music in this documentary, and hopefully in my future reviews as well. My co-highs, out of all the intros to a dinosaur documentary, Prehistoric Planet absolutely slaps. The main intro theme and a majority of the soundtrack was composed by Hans Zimmer, who also composed for The Lion King, The Dark Knight, and Dune, just to name a few. I was actually quite surprised that he orchestrated the original soundtrack of the original Lion King back in '95, which is pretty awesome. Some of the other musical scores were also orchestrated by Kara Talv and Anze Rosman, both of whom have composed on other documentaries from the past. All three of them together have given us some of the most fantastic scores ever put in paleo media. I wouldn't say it's above Walking with Dinosaurs, or anything from the whole Trilogy of Life saga, as a matter of fact, but it's still fantastic. I think the best part of it all is how the music makes you feel certain emotions as the episode progresses, ranging from calm and relaxed, fear and excited, to even funny and whimsical. It truly does bring the documentary to life and gives it such a grand scale. I think my favorite score is the one played during the Carnotaurus segment. For copyright reasons, I won't play the song here, but trust me, it's awesome. Modern dinosaur documentaries suffer from making their own environments using CGI. Don't get me wrong, it can be pretty effective. Planet Dinosaur did it back in 2014. But for me, it doesn't make what I'm watching look real to me. If you're going to make a dinosaur documentary, the look and realism of the location should be as integral as making the animals. And the best way to do that is on location. Prehistoric Planet was shot and filmed in real locations all over the world. The Americas, Europe, Africa, and Australia provided the photographers and filmers spectacular environments we see on the screen. A few of them were actually quite hazardous to film in. Lava-spewing volcanoes, searing hot deserts, and rugged mountain terrains are just a few examples. All 5 episodes are set in different environments and showcases animals found in these habitats, some of which you would never expect to find them in. Where have you ever seen a Tyrannosaurus Rex, a 7-ton colossus swimming in a vast inland sea looking for food? Or heard a Triceratops, an animal even bigger than an elephant, traveling through an underground cave in search of clay lakes? Or even a Troedontid in a blazing forest using burning twigs hunt for prey caught in the fire. It's truly amazing how many species in this documentary can be seen in habitats you really wouldn't think to look. I gotta say, they really put a lot of thought in the landscapes they would use. And now, we get to what I'm sure you guys have been waiting for me to talk about, and that's the animals that are seen in the documentary. In all honesty, these are by far the best reconstructions I've ever seen in any form of paleo media. The team responsible for bringing these animals to life is MPC, who did the VFX for Harry Potter, Pokemon Detective Pikachu, and the MonsterVerse Godzilla series. Most notably from their list is the live-action remake of The Lion King. Although, in my eyes, it is a shameless cash grab on a priceless animated original, I do give credit for the photorealistic CGI used to bring their characters to life. That's the sort of effects used in Prehistoric Planet. Most of the classic dinosaur documentaries nowadays sadly suffer from outdated CGI. It's nice to see effects so detailed and so crisp, it almost looks totally real. Well, most of the time. The detail work is absolutely incredible. You can see snow, water, and sand cling to these animals as they interact with the environment. Look how wet the feathers are on these baby T-Rexes. Look at how the snow clings to the feathers of the Nanooksaurus. It's fantastic! And the creature designs themselves are the best I've ever seen. Not only do they move realistically, the way they look is realistic. Finally, we have lips on Tyrannosaurus. We have sauropods that have weirdly shaped feet. We have pterosaurs with wings folded in the proper position. We have feathers on dromaeosaurs. We have tail flukes on mosasaurs. The list goes on and on. Although some speculation is used in these designs, such as the inflatable neck sacs on the Dreadnoughtus and the quills on the Pachyrhinosaurus. Ultimately, these designs are thanks to paleontologist Darren Naish, who wrote the book All Yesterdays, which is what Prehistoric Planet is based on. But I was very surprised to learn that it was David Krentz who was involved with the creature designs and development. For those of you who weren't aware, Krentz was the creature designer of Disney's Dinosaur, and even more shockingly, the director of Dinosaur Revolution. The latter of these I thought were some of the most accurate dinosaur designs put to screen until the release of Prehistoric Planet. In the past, paleo documentaries only showcase dinosaurs at how effective killing machines they can be. But on Prehistoric Planet, we get to see dinosaurs as what they are. Animals living their everyday life. We see how they migrate for water, how they clean themselves, how they get their food, how they attract mates, and even how they may have raised their young. Of course, this is only scratching the surface of the behaviors of the animals display. And I'm actually happy to see dinosaurs do uninteresting or basic things rather than constantly showing them killing everything on sight. Without a shadow of a doubt, the animals that are presented to us in Prehistoric Planet are the best ever seen. They look and act like real animals, not like mindless, bloodthirsty monsters with designs based on what the general public perceives them as. All in all, Prehistoric Planet is truly one of the best paleo documentaries to be released, if not the very best. And for once, it looks like both critics and audiences alike agree on what they think of the documentary. The VFX? Great. The music? Great. David Attenborough's narration? Great. And as if it couldn't break the mold any more than it already has, Prehistoric Planet even ends differently than your typical dinosaur documentary. In most, it ends with the asteroid's impact that caused the extinction of the dinosaurs, whereas in Prehistoric Planet, all we get is a Hatzegopteryx flying in the sunset. No impact, no extinction, just another day in the life on planet Earth 66 million years ago. There's truly no modern form of paleo media that can rival this documentary. If you haven't watched it yet, I highly implore you to do so now. This is the dinosaur documentary you don't want to miss. Anyway guys, I sincerely hope you enjoyed my review for Prehistoric Planet. This review has been a long time in the making, and I'm glad I finally got around to it. I was originally just going to review each episode on its own, but I decided that reviewing Season 1 as a whole would be much better due to how much time goes into editing my reviews and how taxing projects like this actually are in production. With that said, it's time to wrap up this video. If you enjoyed it, leave a like, subscribe today, hit that notification bell so you know if it's anything new, link to my Discord and my Twitch in the description down below, and until next time, this is Transenpai signing off. Alrighty then, take care now, bye bye then.